start our session. Uh, so today we will see like what is cloud. Prior to that, like as a DevOps engineer, we need to provide the support, monitor the applications. We have to take care of infrastructure management, etc. But let's try to understand architecture of any web application. So in picture, you can see uh, there is a diagram of user. User is nothing but the consumer who is going to use the applications. And then the web architecture is divided in a front end and back end. So two parts are divided. So what is front end? Front end means what? Whenever we click any browser and whatever we see services. So this is a front end. That means the visible part to the end user. It's called as a front end. For example, if you go to the bookmyshow.com and you book a ticket, that time you can see the complete page. The web page which is visible to you is nothing but it's a front end. And what is not visible to you, the processes running behind the application. When you click on book payment, book tickets, what happenings at the back end, how database stores take care of data, when you log in, how your authentication takes care. So those processes are running in the back, but those processes are not visible to you. So that is nothing but it is a backend. So what it consists? It consists of databases, server logic, business logic, then load balancing. So these are the two parts. The, the first one is a front end, which is visible to the end user while consuming the application, and backend is which takes care of running of an application, but which is not visible to the end user. So this way, the front end and backend is designed. So what is so what we need to understand when it has a front end, let's say it is a web browser. So for hosting that, we need to have a web server. And for the backend, there need to have multiple servers for running your application. So there are database servers, application servers. So whenever you click on any website, right? So they design the application designed in the same way in two parts, like front end and back end. So servers which are responsible for displaying the web pages, those are having public IPs. That means those are accessible to all. But the database servers and application servers which are not visible, so those are kept in a private IP and those are not exposed to the public. So for example, you may have heard like this website has been hacked. So what happens actually when someone hacks your website? So it is expected like user can see only front end, like so that if accidentally, if any one person got the access to the application server or database server, so then he can make it changes at the back end and hack and get the results as per his requirements. So that's why it is called like server service got hacked. So when applications are hacked, it means unauthorized person got the access to your application server and database server. So there are two types of hosting an application. The first one is on-premises and the second one is a cloud. So for DevOps engineer, we have to deal with on-premise server as well as a cloud. So the way of working will be same. Like this, you will follow the same steps, but the difference will be like if it is a cloud, then you can have access from anywhere. Like you can work to those servers from your home. Like right now we do the AWS, we create the instance. Why it is hosted on a cloud? But if it is on-prem, like some company, like banking domain, they don't want to go for a public cloud like AWS Azure. So what they do, they prepare their own data centers, and to access those server, they don't provide any connectivity to the other like it is those are not exposed to the internet directly. So to work on that those server, you need to be physically present on the data center, then you can access those servers. This is because the banking domain is a very secure, and they don't want to be keep any loophole so that their servers will get hacked. So let's understand first what is cloud exactly. Like we know we talk about a lot of cloud, but what is cloud exactly? So let me show you a diagram. Okay. So understand this is your consider this is your computer. Please mute yourself. Okay, so this is your computer. So when you are sitting in your office, there are multiple computers, right? And so those computers are connected to each other. So how they are connected to each other? Using a IP address, right? So each computer has unique IP address, just like you have your mobile phone and you call to the another person. So let's say if there is a one more mobile number which is the same, exactly same as your mobile number, is it possible? No. Why? Because it's a unique number. It's a unique, globally unique number. Like in the world, your mobile number will belong to only you. There will be no second person who is having the same mobile number, just like you have. And this is required because otherwise, you will not. It will not be a good network. Like it will not. You will not make a calls or you will not receive the calls. So that's why uniqueness is very important. The same way, when these computers talk to each other, how they communicate, just like we call to the mobile numbers and we communicate with the people, machines have the machines means what? Not only computers, the all the machines which uses the internet. So it may be your mobile, it may be your tablet, it may be your server, laptop, MacBook, or any smart device. Like even you are in car gadget, if you have any smart device which uses the internet, it has one IP address, and that IP address is unique IP address, and hence those are getting connected to the each other. So just like mobile phone, a computer has the IP addresses. So this may have 192.168.255.3. Sorry. So this will have this IP, this computer. Same way, this computer will have the 4. This will have 5. Likewise, any IP, any computer or any internet device. Let's say there is one tablet in your environment. So again, it will has unique IP. So it will not match with the existing devices which are connected to the network. Okay. So now who takes care of this thing? Like how you will get the access to the, who will provide you the IP? Okay. So there is a, everyone, if you have Wi-Fi, we all have the device. We call it as a router. So everyone, like we have the device, similar device at home if we are using internet. So this is nothing but a router. So this takes care of assigning IP to the all network devices. So though these are connected to the, though it may connected to the wirelessly or wired. So the router will provide IP address to the all your internet devices. So this way you are enabled with a network. So if you have a router, then your router will have one IP. We call it as a gateway. So it will be always a one. Like you see, so this is nothing but your network gateway. If you look at my machine, or if you check on your machine, you go to open network and sharing center. Here you will see like your network properties. Here you can see uh, my IP address of my laptop. So you can see here IP address 192.168.120.56. This is my laptop's IP address. Same way, if you can check your laptop IP address. There is one more thing how you can check. You can open a command prompt and you can type IP config. So here you will get the IP address of your machine. So now here you can see the multiple IPs. So here you can see the Ethernet adapter Ethernet. So if I am connecting my laptop last time, so then I got this IP for the Ethernet. Ethernet is nothing but the when you connect the cable. So now I have connected using a Wi-Fi. So you can see here wireless LAN adapter Wi-Fi. So you can see the same IP address which is showing here. I am connected to my internet connect using a Wi-Fi router. So this is my IP address. Okay. So it has a further classification. So we don't need to go into depth at this point. Or you need to learn some things like by your own, because if we started taking all the networking concept, then we will not complete our DevOps syllabus. So, but we are just giving a high level of overview how it is and what is the network, what are the IP addresses. So there are like classification of IP addresses. So you can prepare by your own. So here you can see like my computers are connected using a router. So I have a scenario like I want to connect my office net laptop to my home laptop, right? So in that case, let's say these are my office laptops. Okay. So now my office will have one more router like this, right? And I may have a different IP address series here. Or now I want to create a communication between these two. Like I want to connect these computers to each other. They should talk to each other. Then how it is possible? Then it is possible just because of internet. Like if uh, if you have done your college labs, like if there is no internet, still you can communicate with each other. And how you can send the files to the network, same network. So this is nothing but if you are having a one router and computers and they are connected each other locally, either a Ethernet cable or Wi-Fi, it is nothing but your local network. And when we want to connect to the other network, like other locations, then we need a internet connection. So here the term comes, it's internet. Like for example, if you don't have a connectivity of internet to your router, then you will get disconnected. Like you can see with a Zoom call, right? If your internet got disconnected, your call get disconnected. Why? Because you are disconnected from the internet. Same way, if you have connectivity to your router, now it is possible to connect to the each other. So you know like how you connect, like you have used a team view, or you have used a quick Anydesk. So using those tools, you can connect to the other networks as well. So how they are getting connected? Using the internet. So what is cloud? Let's try to understand here. So why I'm explaining this all story? To understand the concept. So now think of a case like you want to run an application which needs 256 GB of RAM, let's say 1 TB of HDD space, and you need, I'm giving a very simple example so that you can relate. You have a laptop as having a processor, like like Core 2 Duo, dual core, i3, i5, i7, i9. Okay. So, but in server, they have a different processors. So they are called like Xenon servers, or there are multiple servers. But keep it very simple. So this is your requirement. You need a let's say 10 servers. Okay, but now think of, you have your laptop configuration is only, so you have a laptop configuration of 16 GB of RAM, you have a 225 SSD, and you have a Core i7 processor. Okay, so now you have a requirement, like you want to run an application which has this much requirement, so that the application will run smoothly. But your laptop or your computer or your server is having only this much of a hardware configuration. So in that case, you will not able to run the application efficiently. Like you may know, like if you are using old computers and you install that software, your computer starts lagging and this show the slowness, right? To avoid that, what you need to upgrade your computer. Okay, but do you think, like, let's say you are in a local area, like you are in a Solapur, and there you want this kind of server configuration. So like your local provider will not be able to provide such configuration. So you have to give him order, then he will ask for 5 to 10 days, then he will send order to his dealer, and then this server will provide it to you. And then again, it will involve a cost. So let's say this is your server, which has the our required configuration. So again, you will waste 5 to 10 days, and then you need this application to run only twice a year. All the year you don't want to run that application. Let's say you are doing accounting stuff, and in the March month you have a lot of queries to run, and your local laptop don't support it. So you need a higher configuration machine, but you need only twice a year or thrice a year. Then is it visible to like buy the machine, like high-end configuration machine, which will cost you some lack of monies, right? Again, it's not a good deal, right? So then the concept called, what you can do, you can rent a computer. For example, in your city, if someone is having a computer which is having a same configuration, you can ask, like, I will pay the rent for 2 days. I just need this application for the 2 days, so that once my task is over, I don't need this machine. My application will run on my local machine as well. So this is your requirement. So then there is a concept called came as an cloud engineering, cloud computing. So initially, Amazon was the pioneer to start the public cloud. Like they started offering the cloud services to all other. So now like there are a lot of startups are coming, a lot of applications are coming now. Everyone is able to host their website very quickly. How it is possible? Because Amazon has created a data centers all over the world, and they have created a lot of Amazon have created data center all over the world, and they have huge investment on purchasing the servers. And what they have done, let's say you have a requirement of 256 GB RAM, but Amazon, what will do? Amazon will buy the much bigger capacity of computer, and let's say you need only 2 days of use. Okay, so then Amazon will use the same machine, and he will offer the rent service to the other users as well. Like say this will also need some kind of support for 3 to 4 days. This user also need. So Amazon will do the leasing part, and he will give you this computer to use on a basic of pay per minute or pay per second. So if you look at the billing, Google charges pay per second, and Amazon and Microsoft charges pay per minute or per hour basis. So then this server, they try to keep engaged 24/7, and they are doing a rent business, like lease business, like just like you have a paying guest hostel. So what they hostel people do, they offer their rooms on a rent. As soon as the person who was using that hostel vacant the room, he allot the another person, and that way he keeps the using a hostel, make an income source of it. Okay, so the same way AWS has a lot of data center, lot of servers, they give it on a rent. Okay, understood this part? So this is nothing but we are accessing someone else's computer. That is a cloud. And those are connected each other with a cables. Like for example, the data center of Amazon has a data center, one data center in India, one is in US. So though they are geographically located at different locations, they are connected to the physically with a very high speed cable. And that's why we are able to access them easily from all the corner of the world. So this is nothing but the cloud. So then what are the types of cloud? So there are mainly three types of cloud. One is a private cloud. So the private cloud is what? For example, I have a bank and I cannot do the leasing or I cannot use a public cloud. Why? Because there is a risk of a security. And then I don't know, like let's say my bank is in Pune and my service provider, cloud provider is located at US. So then I don't have a physical access to that server and I cannot trust blindly to the provider, like he will not misuse the data or is my data secure or not, because the operation or the maintenance of server is taken care by the service provider. So in case like if you have your own computer or own server, if power cuts, if there is an internet issue, then you have to fix it by your own. So maintenance will be you need to do the maintenance of your own server. So if you are hiring a cloud service provider, then the maintenance and update will be done by the service provider itself. So this is the difference between if you are having your private cloud or you are using someone's cloud. So in case of private cloud, if your application need a security and you cannot take a risk, then you need to set up your own data center. And if anyone, like let's say, take example of a State Bank of India. So State Bank of India has their own application like SBI.com. So they want their application should be having all the enabled. It should be no downtime. So what they will do, they will buy the server and they will create their own data center and they will make the servers available to the application available to the all. So in this case, they are the one who are taking care of maintenance and everything when it is a private cloud. And then there is a private public cloud, like like AWS, Azure, GCP. These are the public clouds. So public cloud is what? It is provided by the third person. Like they are giving us their cloud on a lease or rent. So they are the one who are responsible for the taking care of maintenance and security. So then there is a hybrid cloud. So hybrid cloud is what? For example, I have the same thing I explained. Like let's take a same example or take example of a IPL match. So on IPL match, I have for hosting application like streaming of IPL, I have my own data center. Capacity of my data center is I can host the application smoothly up to 1 CR users. Let's say my data center, I have a servers. If the users load is 1 CR, like 1 CR people are watching the live matches, then my data center can host it smoothly. As soon as the count goes beyond the 1 CR, let's say the count goes to 1.1 CR, then my servers are not sufficient or they will start lagging or they will not able to broadcast smoothly. So in that case, I know like all the matches, viewers are not going to have more than 1 CR count. So what I will do, I will use a hybrid cloud. So hybrid cloud is what? All the hosting will be done on my server primarily. And as soon as I will have some threshold, let's say I know like the number of users can reach at any time. So let's say what I can understand, if it run more than 1 CR, my system is going to fail and public will not able to watch the match. So what I will do, I will use a load balancer and I will set a parameter as the traffic goes beyond the 80%. It means if there are 80 lakh viewers are watching the match, then I will send the request to the public cloud and my load balancer will take care of, it will host the application on a public cloud. So that if there is a traffic more than 1 CR, then my public cloud will take care of a load. And depending on the number of viewers they are watching the match, I will enable the servers so that if viewers count go from 1 CR to 10 CR, the public cloud will take care of a charge and they will broadcast my IPL match smoothly. so that there will be no downtime experienced by the end users. So in that case, I can use the hybrid cloud. So this is a win-win situation for the businesses, because if there is a requirement of small amount of data, then my primary servers will take care of it. If in case like, like every day or every match is not having the more viewers, they know like average count is like 5 CR or 1 CR. But buying the servers and investing your huge amount of a provisioning of like huge servers, again, it's not a good thing, right? So we can use those servers as and when required, like on a demand basis. Let's say, take example, we are having a plan to trip to Goa. You have only one car, and like you have five family members. You all are traveling for Goa, then you will use your own car, right? And you will travel to Goa. But in case you want to have an entire families to trip, let's say your uncle family is coming with you, then like your car will not suffice for the 15 or 20 people. So what you will do, you will hire a bus and you will pay them for the travel, and you will book a bus with a 30-seater capacity, or depending on number of guests who are traveling to the Goa, and you will book a bus and you will use the bus for the particular period, because hiring a bus for entire month is not a practical and you don't need it, or buying a bus for a single trip it doesn't make any sense. So the same way, some companies use the hybrid cloud. As and when required, they use a switch to the from private cloud to hybrid cloud, and only so this way they saved a lot of cost. And we will see like how that get transferred load balancer works in upcoming practicals as well. Okay, so come to the architecture. So here we mostly use the Linux servers for hosting the applications. So let's dive into the practicals and see how we can create the servers. So this is my AWS console. Here you can see I have came to the EC2 dashboard. So for practice, like Amazon provides 750 hours free usage for the first year. So you can create your AWS account. It is very simple, just like creating an email account, but you just need a credit card, and 2 rupees will be deducted from your credit card while creating this account. Many of you may have already created this account. If someone has not created the account yet, uh, go and create the AWS account, so that you can do the practices. So let's so EC2 service, like let's consider EC2 as our server. So here you can see, come to the EC2 dashboard. If this is not visible, you can go to search and type EC. So here you can see services. These are the number of services which is provided by the AWS. Select the EC2 service. So the EC2 service dashboard will appear on your screen. Here you can see how many instances, means how many servers are running. So right now I don't have any server running. So you can see 0. And these are the other details, like how many elastic IPs, how many load balancers are using, how many snapshots, how many placement groups, dedicated hosts. So these are the some details of AWS. So just click on a launch instance. As you know, like Linux is a more preferred way because it is open source and company don't need to pay the for license cost. So people prefer Linux servers for hosting their applications, as it is more secure than Windows. In some cases, some applications need to host by the Windows server as well. So here we can give the name of our server. So let's give a name of server like Linux server. Or you can give any name. Then here, so this is the public cloud, right? So they have given the available options. So what are the required server for our application? We can select from this bundle. So they have given the all available images which are available. Like they have a Debian server, they have SUSE Linux, they have Red Hat, Windows, Ubuntu, Mac OS, and Amazon Linux. So for this, consider a Ubuntu server. Here you can see it is showing a free tier eligible. So while practicing, always select a free tier eligible, and so that you will not get bills. So this one is the latest version. So you can here see Ubuntu server 24.04. This is a version. LTS stands for long-term support. And this is the type of machine HVM, SSD, volume type. So the hard disk, which is we are going to use, it is a type of SSD. So it is solid state drive. So SSDs are more faster than SDD. And you can see the it is a 64-bit operating system. So select it. Sorry. Select the Ubuntu. Here you can see it is 64 type. Here you can see the what is the instance type. Instance means server type. It is a T2 micro family. It has only one CPU, 1 GB of memory. So this is the costing 0.0124 US dollar per hour. But as we are, this server is eligible for free tier eligible. So you can use it for the free. If you select the other instance, then you have to pay the bill. So better while practicing, select the free tier eligible. And then like when Windows, we log into the Windows, we use a username and password. But in Linux, username and password, you can log in using username password as well, but it is not considered as a secure way of communication. So that there is a one key is required. For example, key pair is generated. So we can click on a create new key pair, keep the same everything as it is. So this is nothing but the type of encryption. So this is RSA type and this is ED25519. And this is the private key file format. So if you are using through the OpenSSH protocol, then you need a PEM key. And if you want to use a PuTTY as an application to connect the server, then you need to use a PPK type. So keep everything as it is. Don't make any change. Don't need to go in detail. Just type a name of a key. You can give any name. So I am giving a name like I'm giving name as application server key. Create a key pair. So what happens when we create a key pair? It creates a two keys. And it is a private key and public key. So it asks us to store it. So I do a practice of storing all the keys on a one folder. I have created a folder called a keys, and I prefer to keep all the keys on that folder itself. Okay. So what is that key? Let's try to understand. So this is your Linux server. Okay. And when you are logging, like in Windows, you have a username and password, right? So you have to type username and password, then it will get authenticated and you will able to log into this server. But in case of Linux, what they do, they create a key. Key is nothing but it is an encrypted key. Let me show you. Here you can see this is a key we created. Let's try to open it with Notepad. So here you can see this is a key, and if you look at this, so this is a encrypted way. So like if you can't understand this what is data it is. So they have created a encrypted information. And the same key, this is a private key. You can see end RSA private key. So this is a private key, which is a private key means this key will be used by me only for the user account which I have created. Let's say there is one more user who wants to access this server, then he can have his own private key. Like let's say there is a user called Rahul. Then the separate key will be generated. And there is one more user called Ramesh. Then he has to use the different key. So the key of Ramesh will not work for the Rahul and vice versa, just like the username and password. So you can consider it same as like key of your home. Like when you enter your home, you have your own lock, right? So then you will never share your key with the other person, though these are your relatives and all. You will call them when you are at home. The same way, Linux server provide the key. Like there is a public key and private key. So public key is what that key is stored on the machine itself, and private key is with the key which is shared with the user. So you need to have those key with you, and then only you can connect to the Linux server. So we have created a key. Keep everything as it is. Just click on launch instance. It will create a one machine. You can see successfully initiated launch instance. So it has created a one instance. Here you can see the name of a server, what we were typed, application server. Then instance ID, the state of server, like it is running or stopped or terminated. So here you can see the state, the type. This is our availability zones. Like, so we will go in depth in this in next sections. So click on instance ID. So here you can see this is the instance ID, like unique ID for the server which we created. So this is a public IP address, and this is a private IP address. So we saw the diagram where we discussed the private IP. Like if you are connected to your router, then you will get a one IP, that is 172.31.3.33. So in this case, this is a private IP. And if I type what is my IP, then my public IP will be listed here. So you can see, or even you can test on your computer. Go to Google and type just what is my IP. You will see this is your IP. So this is IP is not this is a public IP which is provided by your internet service provider. So if in your home you are using a 10 devices, so everyone will have this IP as a public IP, but private IP will be different. So the public, what is the use of public IP? If you have a public IP, then your machine can be accessed from anywhere or any part of the world. If you don't use you have a, let's say you have a router connected and your internet is not working, then as you are not able to run anything on your computer, right? Because you are not connected to the internet. So the same way, no one can connect to that machine which don't have a public IP. So you can read those concepts. What is public IP? What is private IP in detail? Because this is not a cloud class. This is entirely dedicated to DevOps class. We will see the concepts as and when we will try to cover and a high level overview. Because we started in depth, then we will not able to finish this batch within a year. So then this is a private IP address and this is public IP address. As this is hosted on a AWS, so we need to access this server, we need public IP address of this. And then using that, we can connect to that server. So how we can connect? Just click on connect. And here there are multiple ways how you can connect to the server. Like you can create a EC2 instance connect, and in browser itself, you will be able to connect to this server. So you can do this practical. It is very easy. Just click on connect and it will open the new session. And there you will able to connect to that server, or you are able to access the server. But preferred way is using SSH. SSH is nothing but a secure shell. So this is a one protocol. Like protocol is mean what? It is a set of rules. So how the connection will be established? So when we are using a SSH protocol, the connection is very secure. So that's why this is a preferred way. Like if you're working on a companies, so you will have to connect using a SSH protocol only. You will not get access to the browser enabled extension. So you need to practice using a SSH client. So for this, you can install the applications like Mobaxstream or Putty. But by default, you have, even without having those applications also, you can access the servers. So here they have given the example. Just copy this. Open PowerShell from your computer. Like you can type here PowerShell, Windows PowerShell, and make sure you open it as a run as administrator. Click yes. So here, this kind of window will open. And when you are at the top, you can see the administrator. So this is important. If you normally open the PowerShell, then this will not work. Like you will not have access, so you may have issues. So always open PowerShell as an administrator. So here you can see C Windows System 32. If you are how to get check at the top, you can see administrator is showing, and the default it will open at C Windows System 32. In case if you are opening normal, so it will show your username, C user, yes English. So it is showing my username, and here I can see the difference. When I open PowerShell as admin, at the top it is mentioning administrator, and when I'm opening it a normal window, it is showing as a select Windows PowerShell. So it is not administrator is not mentioned here, and you can see the path. So my current location where I am executing the command, that is C users S English. That means my username. So if you log in with your username, then your username will appear here. So always open this as a PowerShell, then simply copy that command, and you will able to open it. But here you can see such file server not accessible. Why it is happening? Because the key, this is a key which we have generated. We need to open the path where the key is stored. So my key, I have stored my key in a path C username downloads. You can just type 3 words and just press tab. So it will auto-complete. So this is a location where my keys are stored. How you can check? You can just type command ls, and you can see what are the files present at that location. So you can see here there are 3 keys which I have created, and this is the key which we are going to use. So now we have to use the same command. Now we have opened our cursor is at the location where key is stored. So you don't need to make any change. Just copy this example as it is and paste into the PowerShell and click enter. So it will ask, are you sure you want to continue connecting? Type yes. So here you can see it will show the details of a system, like what is the type of data, what are the processes running. So here you can see it is showing as a Ubuntu. So Ubuntu is nothing but the username, and this is nothing but the host name of a computer. So now we have successfully connected to the Linux machine. So this is the way to connect to the Linux machine. So we created one instance, and we are able to connect to that instance using our Windows machine. So let's see, there is, I am typing ls command, so there is nothing at this point, no files are available. If I want to see the hidden files, then I can type ls-la. So here you can see there are total 28 files, and as looking at the files, you will see those files are not present on your local machine. So these present files are available on the Ubuntu server or Ubuntu instance where which we have connected. So now we can we connected successfully to our Linux machine, and we can use the command, like for example, whenever you connect to any machine, any server, you can access or you can deploy. So now you have seen, if you are seeing this Linux for the first time, Linux works on a console base. Like it don't have a GUI way, just like Windows or Mac has. It works on a console base only. You have to work with Linux only command base. So we have covered some basic lectures about Linux already. So if you want to access this, then you need to pay the 3,500 rupees. So immediately we will share the link of those sessions, and you can see those videos. So that where we have covered the in-depth Linux, like what is the difference of Linux and of Windows, how you can learn the basic commands. It's like that. So today our intention is like IP. So we know the public IP of this machine. Hence, we are able to connect to that instance. But as we have seen the architecture here, we can have the public IP for the servers only which are having the front end. We cannot allow to have the public IPs for the other servers, like your database server or application server. So we know the network, right? We learn the network, like we can communicate with each other when they are in the same network. But here what we are doing, this server is on a cloud. Let me show you so that you will clear. So consider this is a server, Linux server. Which is available on a cloud. Like this is on a cloud and you are accessing it from your laptop. So how you are able to access it? So you are able to connect this server, which is hosted on a cloud. You are able to access it using its public IP, right? So that's why you are able to create a connection to this server and you are able to access this server. But what else? Like for example, just now we saw the case, our all servers will not be having the public IPs. This server will have only private IPs. So as you can see there, a dotted line, it means all these servers are connected in a same network. But due to security reasons, we have not given the public IP, or we cannot give the public IP to these servers which are having application and databases. So to when, if for example, if you're as a DevOps engineer, you want to work on a web server, then you have a public IP and you will be able to connect to this server using public IP. But let's take an example where you have to access some other servers like database server or application server. Let's mark it as an database server. This is your application server. So it don't have a public IP. These are having the private IPs. The IP like just we have same the way like we have our local computers. (192.168.256.4). Okay, and this is also having the private IP 5. And it has one more IP that is a public IP. So what is that? How you can access? You can come here and you can see, go to instance. Here you will get the public IP address. So this is a public IP address of the Linux instance which we have created right now. So this is a public IP. So now, like how it is possible to have the two IPs? Just because it has two Ethernet cards. So if your server, likewise your laptop has a Wi-Fi connection as well as LAN cable connection. So you can connect two Ethernet cards. So the same way, this server are having two cards. So you will have both IPs. One will have a local IP and one is having the public IP. So this will be connected to the, so as this server has a public IP, we can access this server. But here, the servers which are not having the public IP, we cannot access them directly. So here you can see these are in a one private network, like they are having one private network. But how we can access this server? So we know as they are in network, they are in a same network. Like you can see, if we got access to this server, which has a public IP from our computer, we can access these two servers as well. So how? Because this server is having a public IP as well as local IP. So though these servers are not exposed to the public, but they are connected to each other using their local IPs. So if we know the private IP of this server, we can access that server using a local IP. So let's try to do the same. Let's try to access the server which has only private IP and not the public IP. So how we can do that? Let's create one more server here. Go to launch instances, give a name, let mark it as a DB server, and keep the same key pair which we used for the previous server. For network settings, here you can see by default auto assign public IP is enabled. But now we want to create the scenario as this is a database server. We don't want to expose it publicly. Let's disable it. And everything will be as it is. Click on launch instance. Here we can see the status of our instance. So here you can see the DB server instance ID. Check. Now here check, it don't have a public IP address. And you can see as it don't has a public IP address, the connect button is by default disabled. You can see it's grayed out. Like we cannot connect to this. See, though they have given this thing, but you can see, let's try if we can access it because it's a local IP, right? I think it's a bug. The button should be disabled. Let's try to connect it the same way we connected to our first server. I will open one more tab. Here you can see, let's go to the location where our keys are stored. So we are at location where our keys are stored. You can see our keys here, application server key pem. I will use the same string which we used to connect the first server. So let's copy this, paste it. It is trying to connect, that's why it's blinking. But as it don't have a public IP, we will not able to connect this server directly from our local machine because it don't has a, see here, it tried to connect to host, connection timeout, because it tried for it attempts for 3 to 4 seconds. And if it connection is not established, we are not able to connect the server. But in that case, what we can do, we can access that server using, so what we need to do, we need to first, using our laptop, we need to connect to this first server, which is having public IP. Then using this server, we can connect to the application server. So how we can do that? So we have seen, like we have one key, right? The same way we connecting from the Windows machine, we have to apply to this server. Like what we are doing, we are using a command SSH. We use the command SSH and we created a key and we connect to the server using SSH protocol. So same way, we have to use the process on a Linux server itself. So let's connect to our first server, which we have created. So prior to that, we need to copy the IP address of this machine. So where we will get the IP address? So this is a, you can see, connect to your server using its private IP. So this is a private IP. Make a note of it. This is our DB server. Okay. This is a private IP of our DB server where we want to connect. So how we can connect? First, we need to connect to our server, which is here. You can see both the servers, application server as well as DB server. Both are same type T2 micro. Both are in same availability zone 1B. But we don't have a public IP for the database server, and we have a public IP for the application server. So everything is same. So try to connect this server. Same way we connected earlier, click on connect. Use this string to connect to the server. Use up open PowerShell. If you want to clear this screen, you can use the command clear. It will clear your screen. So here you can see I have connected to the server. So where I am, so here is a command to find the location, PWT. It shows present working directory. So I am now into a directory Ubuntu. So what I need to connect, the first thing is I need a private key of the server, and then only I can connect. So this is our Linux machine, right? Okay, let's understand the hierarchy. We have, this is our laptop, right? We logged into the AWS portal. We created an instance and we downloaded a key. So where is key? The key is present at our local computer. So this is a key which is present at our local computer, right? But using this key, we are able to connect to this server. But to connect this server also, we need a same key. Then only we can access. So first what we need to do, we need to create this key from our local computer to the application Linux server. When this key is present in this server, then only we can do the SSH and we will able to connect this server. So let's try to copy this key from our local computer to the Linux server. So how we can do that? So where key is located at present, it is present at our local machine. So first create one folder in our Linux machine. So how we can create? The command is make dir, so it creates a key. So if type ls, you can see key folder is created. So now we will create a we will copy that key which is present in our local to the Linux machine. So how we can copy? Open one more instance of a Linux. So we can see the keys are present here. Which key we want to copy? The application server key, right? So how we can cross check? We can go back and here we can see the details. Here you can see the key name, application server key. So this is the key which we have generated while creating the instance. So where is that key present? That key is present in our local machine. So at what path it is present? C user sessingle downloads keys. So let's open that key here. So how we can open that key? Using a cat command. So here you can see this is a key which we have opened. So first what you need to do, you need to copy this entire key up to end private key, copy this and come back to the Linux. So now here you can understand PSC, it is my local machine. Here you can see these are my local machine details. And now I'm switching to the other terminal of a PowerShell where you can see the username as Ubuntu. So how I can create a key? Using a command, you can use a command, you can use a any text editor like VI nano. Just type VI, press enter, right click, so it will copy the entire key. Then press escape. So here you can see they have given all the shortcuts. So first I copy it, then I will press Q. See here you can see WQ and colon WQ. So this is for writing and saving the file. So I have not given any file name. So first I need to the file name. Okay, let's first create a file and then so first create a file using touch command, or you can use a cat command, anything file. You can give any name. So we will keep the same. Score key. So file got created, you can see application key, but at this present, the file is empty. To copy that content, we will open it again using a VI editor. So copy the content from this key, copy this all the content, paste it. So now here you can see we are at insert mode at the bottom. So you need to press the escape key, then you need to type colon, W for write and Q for exit. So it will save the file. So now we can check the file has been saved or not using the cat command, or we can reopen that file. So here you can see RSA private key. It has been copied, but is it copied correctly? Let's cross check. No. So this is, we have not copied completely. So let's copy it again. We can use the VI editor, type the file name. So this is a normal editor. We need to press I or insert button so that we can make a changes to it. Here you can see we can override it. We are able to edit, make all the changes. We can just edit a first line also. It will not work like our regular notepad. Control A all. So you have to use the keyboards only. Okay. Now here you can see we have complete copied. Then press escape. Type colon WQ. Save it. Now do a cat. Okay. Now here we can see we have copied all the data successfully. By mistake, I was not able to copy the entire data at the first attempt, but make sure like you copy the entire thing. So now here we are at the location where our key is available, right? So we have to use the same command like SSH -I for the identity. We need to mention the key file name, the same command like which they have provided here. Here you can see, go to connect. So here you can see this is the command and try to understand what it is. SSH is a protocol, -I is for identity. Identity means key. So here we have to give the name, mention the key name, and then this is a username, and the @ is means our IP address of the server. So this is nothing but the host name. So we will do the same thing. Come to the SSH -I. Our key name is application. You should be a Linux is a very case sensitive, so you cannot make a mistake while typing the name. application K, username is Ubuntu by default @IP. So what is the IP of our DB server? This is a IP. And press enter. So here it is asking the same thing which we asked for the value we're connecting to the first time. So now here you can see, now it is connecting to the Ubuntu 172.31.33. If you look at the earlier, sorry, it did not connected, because you can see we are at server Ubuntu 133.333, and when we are typing the command, we were having the same. So we are not connected to the server. It is given an error, permission 0664 for application key are to open. So it is required that private key files are not accessible by others. So Linux has a file and permission. So we have created a file which key is application key. So it is asking us to don't allow the permission for this key. So by default, we created a permission. Let's check what are the permission. Here you can see this is our file and these are the permission. So first letter denotes hyphen, it means it's a file. If you look at here, it's a D, it means it's a directory, that is folder in our Windows. But here we have given the first three characters denotes the user permission. So user has a read write permission. Then group, the member of this is a Ubuntu is a user and the group is Ubuntu. So for group, it has a read write permission, and for others like who are not the member of this group, they are having read only permission. So this is an error occurred. So it is asking like permissions are 664 means read means 4, write means 2, 4 plus 2 6. Again read 4, write 2 6, and read 1. So 664, sorry, read 4 664. So we need to give permission only, read only permission to the user. So how we can check? So we can, using a command chmod, give the permission as 400, means read only permission to the user. Type a file name. So now let's check the permission. See, now look at the key. We have given only read permission for the users. So earlier case, if you compare it with this previous result, it has read write permission for user, read write permission for group, and read permission for the others. So now we have resolved the error which was generated while accessing the file. So we'll use the same command to execute and try to connect the server. So it is showing public key JS API keys. So it is not connecting just because of there is an issue with the key. With mic. Okay. So I think there is an issue with key which we created. Okay, so it's 9 AM. Tomorrow we will continue from this and we will connect the server. It's already 9:10, so we will need more 5 minutes. So we will connect it tomorrow and see how we can connect from the local machine to the public IP enabled server, and then connecting to the local server, which are present in the same network. Okay. Thank you, guys. See you tomorrow.
Bye. Bye-bye.